Good morning. Welcome back to our physics class. Today we are going to start a new chapter. Not just new chapter, we are going to start a new unit itself. So today onwards we are going to study about light, the properties of light and so many other things about light. So the first chapter which is related to light is light, reflection and refraction. So first we have to study about light, then we have to study about the reflection of light, then refraction of light and some basic things related to this reflection and refraction. So before going to that one, let us think about the light. So if you think what is light? So there are so many theory about light. So in one way we will consider light as a wave, and one way we will consider light as a particle, very small particles called as photon. All these things you will study in higher level. Even if it is a particle or even if it is a wave, if it is a wave also the wavelength is so small that we can consider light as moving in a straight line. So as far as our calculation is considered, we will consider the light as moving in a straight line path. So the speed of the light is given by c. C means it is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. That is the speed of light in vacuum, and in air also it is almost same only. So when refraction we are studying, there we will study more about this speed of light. So light is moving with a very high speed. That's what we should know now. It is 3 lakh kilometer per second. Such a very high speed it is moving. And we will consider the light as moving in a straight line. So the light is moving from one point to another point through a straight line. So that straight line path, that path we will call as ray of light. The straight line path through which the light travels, that is called as ray of light. So we will consider now rays of light. If you have many rays, a bundle of such rays, that is called as a beam of light. So we will discuss mostly based on the ray of light and beam of light. So the light is moving in a straight line. That straight line path is called as ray of light. Such many rays together, we will call it as a beam of light, or a bundle of rays, that is called as beam of light. A beam of light is coming through a hole. So like that we can discuss. Now when the light is falling on an object, in junior classes you study, sometimes the light can pass through that object. For example, if it is a glass, so such materials we will call it as transparent. So through transparent material the light can pass, and if light cannot pass through that one, we will call it as opaque. Through opaque material, just like a sheet of iron, through that one light cannot pass. So that is called as opaque. And another in between, we will call it as translucent also. Something which will allow the light to pass partially. Such materials are called as translucent also. So all these things you studied in junior class, and we don't have any importance for that one now here. Still you should know the basic thing. Now we are going to discuss about the reflection of light. So if you take a surface like this, so you can see this is a mirror actually, okay. So if you take a surface like this is a particular surface, the light is coming here and the light will hit here and it will bounce back. So bouncing back of light from a surface, that is called as reflection. So actually reflection means what is happening? The light is coming here, hitting here, and it is bouncing back. So bouncing back of light from a surface, that is called as reflection of light. Now when the light is bouncing back, there are some rules. So for reflection there are some rules or laws, that is called as laws of reflection. These laws also you studied in junior class. Once more we will revise that one. What are the laws you studied? So before that one, if you take a mirror like this, see here you can see for the mirror we have two sides. This is back side of the mirror and this is the front side of the mirror. So this side is called as the reflecting side, the side which is reflecting. You can see there the camera and all you can see here. So this side is called as the reflecting side, and the back side of this mirror, that is called as the silvered side, because inside this one here one paint is there, below this paint there is a silver color coating is there. So this is the silvered side, the back side, and this side is called as the reflecting side. So if you take any mirror, for example, if I am keeping this mirror like this, So the light will come here and it will reflect. So I will draw that picture here. So let the mirror be like this. So when the mirror is like this, we have to mark which side is reflecting and which side is silver. So the correct way of that one is, the silver side we will draw small lines like this. So this side is the silver side and the other side is reflecting side. So you should remember like this, whenever you are drawing any mirror, this small line, that side is the silvered side and the plain side, that is the reflecting side. Now for this one ray is coming and falling on this one. The ray which is coming and falling on this one, this ray is called as incident ray. The ray of light which is coming and falling on a surface, that is called as incident ray of light. And when this ray is coming and falling here, at this point we can draw a normal. Normal means what is that? A line which is at 90 degree, that is called as normal. So I am writing N here. Normal means a line which is perpendicular to the surface, that is called as normal. So when the light ray is coming here and it is falling here, and on that point we are drawing a normal also. Now let the light reflect and go like this. The light is reflecting and going this way. So you see here, for any diagram like this, we will call such diagrams as ray diagram. So whenever you are drawing any ray diagram, it is very important to mark these arrow marks. So that arrow mark is not there means it's a mistake. We don't know which direction the ray is moving. So arrow mark is must. So what is the name of this ray? This is incident ray, and one ray which is going like this after reflection, that is called as reflected ray. So we have incident ray here and we have reflected ray here. And the angle between normal and the incident ray, this is called as angle of incidence I. So angle of incidence means it is the angle between incident ray and the normal. Don't confuse, because many people used to write here, that is the angle between the surface and this one. That is not the angle of incidence. Angle of incidence means the angle between the incident ray and the normal. Similarly, the angle between the reflected ray and the normal, that is called as angle of reflection. So once more, we have a mirror here or a reflecting surface here. So for this surface we have two sides. One is reflecting side and the other side is the silvered side or the non-reflecting side. A ray is coming and falling here, and the name of the ray which is coming and falling, that is called as incident ray. So this incident ray is falling at a particular point, and that point we can draw a normal. Normal means it is perpendicular to the surface, that is at 90 degree. And then this light is reflecting here, that the ray which is going after reflection, that is called as reflected ray. And the angle between incident ray and the normal, that is called as angle of incidence. And this one, the angle between normal and the reflected ray, so that is called as angle of reflection. Now we will move to the law of reflection. So according to law of reflection, the first part of law of reflection says that the angle of incidence will be equal to angle of reflection. That is, angle I is equal to angle R. That is the first part. The first part of law of reflection says that angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Very simple. We have this angle of incidence here and we have the angle of reflection also here. So this angle of incidence and angle of reflection are equal. So that is the first part of the law of reflection. It's very simple. Now we will move to the second part. What the second part says is, the incident ray, this one, and the normal at the point of incidence, this one, and the reflected ray, all will lie in the same plane. The incident ray, the normal at the point of incidence, and the reflected ray, all these will lie in the same plane. That is the second part. So what are the things lying in the same plane? That is, first is incident ray and normal at the point of incident and and the reflected ray. These three will lie in the same plane. So what is the meaning of that one? So for its explanation, I will take like these three marker pens I am taking. Okay. So for example, this is our incident ray. So the incident ray is coming from this side, and this is the reflected ray. So naturally in the center we have the normal also. Okay. To hold it like this. Okay. So we have like this. It's a little bit difficult to hold. Still let me try. Okay. Like this. Okay, so this is the reflected ray, incident ray, reflected ray and normal. So what is our first part says? The angle of incidence. This angle is, if this is 40 degree, this also 40 degree. That is the thing. But there is a problem in this one. So you can see, somebody can make this is 40 degree like this. Another fellow can make it 40 degree like this also. Toward this side also, like this 40 degree. And it is possible to make like this also. But light will not go like this. So light will go in such a way that all these three are in the same plane. The meaning of that one is, I am holding it like this with both hands. See, it should be in the same plane. It should be in the same plane. If you look from here, you can see. It's okay, one behind the other. It should be in the same plane. It cannot go this way or this way. It should be in the same plane. Okay, so that's the meaning of that one. That is, incident ray, normal at the point of incidence, and the reflected ray all should lay in the same plane. That is the second part of law of reflection. Now, after this reflection, it will make some images. So when this is making images, there are some properties for these images also. And one thing which you have to remember is, there are two types of images. So one type of image is just like what you see in the normal mirror, plain mirror. So this is a plain mirror. So when you see the image in a plain mirror, you can see that when you look at the mirror, you are seeing your face behind the mirror. So light is not going there. So if you go and keep a paper here, this image you cannot get on the paper. So such an image is called as a virtual image. And there are another type of image, just like the image formed on a movie screen. If you keep a screen, you can get the image on the screen. Such an image is called as a real image. So image can be classified into two parts. One is the real image, another is the virtual image. So what is the difference between real image and virtual image? The image which we can get on a screen is called real image, and the image which we cannot get on a screen, that is called as virtual image. So for each image formation, we have to discuss whether it is a real image or a virtual image. So the image which can be obtained on a screen is called a real image, and the image which cannot be obtained on a screen, that is called as virtual image. And one more basic difference is, when the real image is formed, where the position where the image is formed, there actually the light rays will go and meet. You can see that in the movie screen, from the back side of the theater, one light is coming and it's falling there. The actual light is falling on that place. That's why we are getting an image. So for real image, the actual light is falling on that point. Then what about virtual image? You see here, the light is falling on this one and coming back, and you are seeing you inside here. There light is not going. If a wall is here, light cannot go there. So virtual image is formed without the actual intersection of light rays where the image is formed. But in the case of real image, the actual intersection of light takes place where the image is formed. So that is the difference. So we can say the difference two ways. One is, it can be obtained on the screen in the case of real image. It cannot be obtained in the screen in the case of virtual image. And second part is, the light rays will not meet actually at that point for virtual image. And for real image, the light rays will actually meet at that point. That is the difference between real image and virtual image. Now we will think. You yourself can think about the properties of image formed by a plain mirror. When you take a plain mirror and look into that one, what are the things you are seeing? So what are the properties of that one? So the first property, what about the size of the image? When you are looking in a plain mirror, whether your size is same as your size or you will see yourself big or small, that's also an issue. Whether you are seeing yourself as a big person or a small person, or how you are there, same. Yes, it is same only. The size of the object and the size of the image will be same in the case of a plane mirror. That is the first property of image formed by a plane mirror. That is, size of the image and size of the object will be same. You will see the same size. Then next one is, if you are standing like this, that is erect, your head is up, leg is down. Whether you will see the same type image in the plane mirror? Yes, of course, whenever you are looking yourself in a plane mirror, your head is up only. So the image will be erect. If it is opposite, we will call it as inverted. It is not inverted. The plane mirror image will be always erect. So what is the any other difference you will feel? And okay, if it is erect also, there is another difference. When you look at the mirror, you can see here. For example, your pocket is this side. In the image, it will be in the other side. You will always have a confusion in the case of mirror, or when you are taking a selfie, the left side will become right side and right side will become left side. Such a small issue is there. So that is called as lateral inversion. Lateral inversion means the left and right will interchange. That is called as lateral inversion. So in the case of image formed by a plane mirror, it will be laterally inverted. Laterally inverted means the left and right will interchange. If your pocket is in the left side here, in the image it will be right side. So you will, the left and right will interchange. That is called as lateral inversion. So the image itself will not get inverted. It will be erect only. But there will be a lateral inversion. Left and right will interchange. Then what about the image, whether it is real image or virtual image? Already we discussed. We are seeing the image behind the mirror. If you go and stand there, or if you keep a screen behind the mirror, you cannot get the image. So it will be a virtual image. So these are properties. One more property you can see. What about the distance? If you are 2 meters away from the mirror, that image will be 2 meters away into the mirror. So the distance from mirror to the person will be, or the object will be same as the distance from the mirror to the image also. So the image distance and object distance will be same. Same means in the opposite direction, because when we go to higher level, plus and minus sign difference will be there. Still the distance will be same, but in the opposite direction. So once more, the properties of the image formed by plane mirror, what are the things we discussed? First is same size. Second one, it will be erect. Third one, it is laterally inverted. Next one is, it is at the same distance. The image distance and the object distance will be same. And one more point we can write, the image will be a virtual image, not real image. So these are the properties of image formed by a plane mirror. Okay, now let me ask you one question. If you have such a mirror, if you want to see yourself, you can see your face. If you want to see your leg, for your shirt you can see like that. Pant means you have to bend it little bit down. But if you go a little bit away, you can see your little more body. But if you have noticed from the mirror in your home, you try to get your full image in the mirror. That is, you have to get your head and you have to see your shoes at the same time. Whether it is possible, if you have a mirror, if you stand far away, whether it is possible to see yourself completely in that one? It is possible in some mirror, and in some mirror it is not possible. So what is the difference there? There is a condition. If you want to see yourself completely in a mirror, that mirror should have a height which is half of your height. For example, your height is 160 centimeter. Then the mirror should have a height of 80 centimeter. Then only you can see completely in that one. You will feel little bit difficult to digest this one. You will feel, no, small mirror means if I stand far away, I can see. You can see your leg, but that time head will not be there. If you see head, that time leg will not be there. Both if you want to see at a time, then it should have half of your size. This one you can prove. Geometrically you can prove. Okay, I am not going to prove. I will explain it later, but you try to prove it. That is, you are standing here and the mirror is here. So you can draw the light ray going here and coming and all, and you will get some triangles there. Then you use the law of reflection, that is angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Then similar triangles, I think 10th standard you are studying similar triangles in mathematics. I don't know which class you are studying. Apply the similar triangles relation and all, so that you can prove it. Mathematically you can prove that if the mirror is having half of the size of this person, then only the person can see you completely. It is possible to prove. Okay, as a homework you try to do it. Okay, if you fail I will do it, but you try to do it yourself. Okay, if you are not able to do in another class or another video, I will show you how to do it. Okay, so let it be there. So we discussed this much thing about plane mirror.